Welcome friends to another r/AmITheJerk video. We've got a lot of tough questions to answer, and our first one's from Montana Festo. Would I be the jerk if I refused to help with my partner's daughter's grad party after I've been banned from attending? My longtime partner has been divorced for years. The divorce was acrimonious and he and his ex-wife do not get along. We've been asked to host their daughter's graduation party at our home because my partner's ex dropped the ball and failed to secure the venue. I spent a week planning the party, making arrangements, and ordering materials to make her vision a reality. A week later, she informed us that my presence would anger her mother, and under no circumstances could I attend the party being held at my home in our shop. I am expected, however, to devote my time and creative talents to making her graduation party beautiful. Would I be the jerk if I refused to plan, organize, and decorate for this party? Personally, I think OP would not be the jerk if they just stopped planning for this party. In fact, considering this turn of events, do you think OP would be the jerk if they outright just canceled having the party at their house? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Our next story is from QSarah5. Am I the jerk for wanting my boyfriend to pay me for the hair accessories that he dumped? I'm a 27-year-old female and I wear hair accessories. Lots of them, and have a huge collection of hairpins, headbands, hair clips, side combs, etc. And they're all bright colors and funny shapes. Some people in my life consider it childish, especially my boyfriend. He thinks I wear them excessively and said that they make me look like a teenager. Recently, he's been complaining about being too embarrassed to take me out or go anywhere with me because of my hair accessories, even though it's not a new thing. But he said his friend sat him down and told him that his girl, me, is dressing like a little girl or a mentally challenged girl, which makes him look embarrassed. He gave me an ultimatum saying he won't go anywhere with me unless I stop wearing this stuff, but I refused. He stopped going anywhere with me and started excluding me from events he went to. His sister's birthday was a couple of days ago and he wanted me to go so bad. I said I'd still wear my hair accessories, but he threw a fit and refused. The next day, I found out that he took my entire collection away and dumped it in the sea. I was so angry, I unloaded on him completely. He told me to stop being childish and to start acting my age. He even said I should get therapy for whatever childhood trauma I went through that's causing me regression. I yelled at him demanding he pay me for the entire collection, and he said that he can only offer to get me colorless scrunchies that women my age wear, but I refused. His family got involved and his mom offered me to pay, but I refused to let her, and told her her son is the one who threw it away. He kept refusing, saying it's not worth fighting for, and that I should learn to step out of my comfort zone and try new things, but I insisted he pay me. His argument is that this is impacting his public image as well, and that he'd already spoke to me about it, but I ignored him. Am I overreacting here? As much as I think all the people on Reddit saying, oh you should dump them, oh you should leave them might be a little bit annoying, but I think this is a clear-cut situation where you should stay until they pay you and then immediately leave forever. Literally forget anybody that's willing to treat you like that. This next story is from Made by All. Am I the jerk for kicking my brother and his family out of my flat after they wrecked my roommate's things? So me, 24-year-old female, and my friend, 24-year-old female, bought this massive flat in Manchester. Like it has 4 bedrooms and there's only 2 of us. So we both made a deal that we could have family stay with us as long as we tell the other person. And we had that rule for quite some time and it was fine. I've known this friend for years, so that's why we moved in together. And out of nowhere one day, my brother sends me a message saying that he and his family are having some financial trouble and asked if they could stay with me and my friend. I asked my friend and she said it was alright, as always, so I tell my brother he can stay, but for 2 weeks max, because she had family coming to visit and it wouldn't be fair on her. The next day, my brother and his family come over, and when I say family, it's him, his wife, and their 3 kids aged 4, 7, and 9. I give all 3 of them a tenner each to go buy something from the shop. We let them both get settled in their room, and then we have a meeting to set some rules. 1, don't go in my friend's room. 2, don't go into my room. And 3, don't take anything without asking. We say this to everyone who stays with us, so it wasn't like we're doing anything out of the normal. The first couple of days it was fine, until one day I was out and I get a call from my friend saying that someone went into her room. I go back to the flat and tell her it was probably one of the kids and we would talk to them later. And we do, with my brother and his wife saying to keep the kids out of her room, and again, the evening's fine. The next day, I'm at home in my room when my friend walks in crying. I ask what's wrong, and she explains that someone went into her room again and wrecked her painting she was doing, and also smashed some picture frames, and it looks like someone was climbing around on her desk. I immediately say sorry and console her and tell her I would sort it out. I call my brother and tell him and his family to get home now. When he gets home, I tell them they need to get out. They both looked at me shocked, and I tell them, we set rules and your kids ignored them. You should have taken control of your kids and now you need to leave. They both looked at me shocked, and I show them what the kids had done, and again I tell them to get out of my flat. Thankfully they do without a fight, but obviously my brother told the family, and now some of the family are calling me a jerk for kicking my brother and his family out. So, am I the jerk? Well, so I think OP was already nice enough to allow them to move into those spare bedrooms, even if it's just for the short term. I don't think OP's a jerk because obviously they didn't respect the property and they didn't respect the rules that you set in place. You already had one incident and set those rules and, gave a refresher. And then immediately the next day, it was as if you never even had that discussion. It's like, forget it, you literally can't go one day without screwing up. If anybody's complaining, that must mean that they're volunteering to take that family in. Watch how fast the excuses pop up then. Our next story is from Whole Winner 5183. Am I the jerk for making a customer pay full price? I work in a small cafe type place in a shopping center. I had a customer order a roll, then she added a salad and a drink. I gave her total, which was $21.40. She holds her hand out and says she only has $21. I told her I was happy to put back the drink, and then her total would be $16.90. She said she wanted the drink, so I told her the price again, and she told me she didn't have the remaining change. I'm just a casual employee, so I have no authority over the running of the shop, so I told her I can't sell her all the items without the correct money. She got angry with me and said that she'd been moving house all day and was starving, and that I should be sympathetic. I told her there was a supermarket a few shops down that's cheaper, but she insisted on having the items ordered from our shop. After a lot of back and forth, I caught the owner who was on break, and he said that she could if she paid it back another time. She threw the money she had in my till, grabbed her food, and left. Am I the jerk for not sparing the 40 cents? I think OP is definitely not the jerk here. Realistically, you don't know how the owners or the managers of that place would react. If they found out you willingly spared that 40 cents, that might cost you your job. And all of a sudden, your kindness has just totally ruined your ability to make any kind of income. And things have a price for a reason. You can't just go, oh, well, I'm a little short. Is it okay? If you were the cashier, would you spot them that 40 cents? Or would you make it clear that they had to pay the full amount? Let me know what you guys would do. Our next story is from an anonymous poster. Am I the jerk for laughing at my stepbrother and calling him a leech after he kind of implied I was one? So he's not really my stepbrother, but he's my mom's partner's son. Let's call him Bob. He's 34, doesn't work, and lives with his mom. I have a 5-month-old baby and I'm currently on maternity leave. Last weekend, we all went down to the nearby lake and Bob and I were having a simple conversation. When I said something about being tired because my baby didn't sleep well the previous night, he felt the need to start talking about how easy women have it. How nice it must be to just find a man, get pregnant, then stay home and do nothing while my husband provides for me. I admit I got offended and told him that his life seems even easier as he didn't even have to get pregnant and have a baby to leech off someone. He just achieved it by being so shameless and using his own mother. He then just turned around and left while quietly calling me a stupid runt. I don't think I was the jerk, but apparently he's really sensitive about a situation. I think if he's so sensitive, he shouldn't imply others are leeches. Am I the jerk? I'm gonna say it's pretty clear cut that OP's not the jerk. This guy's a misogynistic wannabe homebody that I think doesn't really have a good grasp on the way the world works. Maybe because they're so sheltered. By the way, if you're enjoying these stories, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. If you do so, you'll never miss any of my daily videos. Every single video has awesome stories like our next one from journalist Puzzled 886. Am I the jerk for walking out of a co-parenting meeting I planned? So this is a throwaway because it's a little too messy for my liking. I, 22-year-old female, broke up with my ex Tyler, 26-year-old male, after I caught him cheating with Tina, 19-year-old female, 7 months ago. Tyler and I have a 3-year-old baby together. When we broke up, we sat down and discussed custody of our kid. He's supposed to have our kid every other weekend, but he visits every few days and takes our kid out after work. Overall, that part's been okay. Crappy boyfriend, great parent. After Tyler and I broke up, he immediately started dating Tina. She has been the only issue with us co-parenting. She's convinced I'm trying to get back with him, and she's constantly saying she's going to adopt my child and I'd never see my baby again. I've talked to Tyler about this, but he won't have any of it and thinks I'm just trying to start crap with Tina. I'm not. I don't want him back, hence why I left him. Here recently, like in the past 3 months, she's been trying to lay down ground rules with our child. AKA, baby can't have sweets, baby isn't allowed to have a babysitter without her approval, baby's bedtime, what he eats, what baby watches, plays with, who the doctors are, etc. It's been miserable arguing that she's not the baby's parent and she needs to back off. Anytime Tyler and I get together to discuss anything to do with our child, she's there talking over me and acting like her word is law. Now the big problem, I called Tyler and asked to meet up at the park to discuss preschool while our kid played. I told him I did not want Tina there, as this discussion is for us as our child's parents, and I did not want her input. He agreed and we planned to meet yesterday. Baby and I got there first, and as he was playing on the playground when Tyler showed up, guess who was with him? Tina. I tried to grin and bear it and just have the discussion, but Tina started in. She didn't want baby to attend a public preschool, and she wanted to homeschool him as it would be better for baby's development. Anytime I tried to give my thoughts, she would talk over me. I finally had enough. I told her to shut her mouth, that she was not the parent and this wasn't her decision. Tyler got mad and said she should have a say. I got baby packed up, told him to give daddy a hug, and we left. All while Tina was yelling and insulting me. I called Tyler later in the day to discuss what happened, and he told me I was being a B-word. He said I should have heard Tina out as she was only thinking about the baby. I told him no, she was only thinking about herself, and I'm done talking about things if she was there. He got angry and hung up. I called my mom to rant about it all, and she said I should have just ignored Tina, and I was the one who asked Tyler to come out. She says Tina might one day become baby's stepmom, so I needed to learn how to work with her, but I don't know. None of this feels right. Am I the jerk? Now, I'm definitely not any kind of specialist or very well learned in this field, but it sounds to me like OP might want to lawyer up. It sounds to me like they need to do something quickly to defend and outline what their rights are, and what Tina's rights aren't, I think. Either way, I think OP's not the jerk. Our next story is from Funny Chef 7259. Am I the jerk for making my eldest daughter babysit even though she's child-free? My wife and I have 3 kids, Tina, 19-year-old female, Jason, 15-year-old male, and Allie, 14-year-old female. Last year, my sister-in-law passed away unexpectedly, leaving our niece Jenny, 4-year-old female, orphaned. Her father's not in the picture. My wife and I, of course, agreed to take her in. It's been a huge adjustment for all 6 of us. Tina and Allie had to start rooming together. Allie's okay with this, but Tina's complained since we brought our niece home. In fact, whenever Jenny does anything typical of a 4-year-old that Tina dislikes, she will loudly and rudely comment that, "This is why I'm child-free and will never have kids." A few weeks ago, there were big changes in our childcare coverage, and now we lack coverage for about 2.5 hours Monday through Friday. Jason and Allie both agreed to take 1 day of the week for babysitting duties. When we asked Tina to take on the other 3, she refused, stating that she's child-free and means it. I told Tina that if she won't pitch in to help the family by babysitting, then she was no longer welcome to live in our home rent-free. I told her what we would be charging for her room and board, and she had a meltdown. She did a lot of yelling and screaming, but when she realized I was serious about kicking her out if she didn't pitch in, she agreed to take on the 3 days of babysitting. Our relationship has been tense. Tina says I'm not being fair because she has to take 3 days, when Jason and Allie only have to take 1 day each. I explained it's because they're still in high school and both are involved in after-school activities, while she takes college classes part-time and online while only working weekends. Also because she's an adult and the other two are not. She also called me sexist and says I'm discriminating against her beliefs. Am I the jerk for forcing my adult daughter's hand in this? I will say that it would be nicer if you had proper accommodation to watch the kid properly during that time. That said, what OP did here, I don't think they're the jerk for it. Babysitting your niece for a couple hours, 3 days a week is a small price to pay for not having to pay for any room and board. OP also clarified that they're covering car payment, car insurance, health insurance, and their tuition. I think it's more than fair. Our next story is from Wedding Dress Blue. Am I the jerk for going and kicking my mom out of my wedding reception? My mom is a social media addict and has to post everything. My wife had one request about her wedding. Other than the bridal party, no one was to see the wedding dress. My mom kept trying to get my wife to post it for her friends on Facebook because she said everyone wanted her to do it. She was mad that she didn't even get to post pictures of my wife trying on a different wedding dress, and at least to allow her to post the rejects. My wife said no, and my mom was pissed. Later, when the moms and bridesmaids picked out their dresses, my mom insisted on wearing white, so my wife said screw this and put the whole wedding party in white, including the mothers and grandmothers. The day of the wedding, my mom took a candid shot of my wife getting her veil ready and posted it about 30 minutes before the wedding started, tagging everyone in it, including the father of the bride and my father-in-law that my wife wanted to surprise, just as much as me getting the first look of her dress while he walked her down the aisle. She even had 2 photographers posted so they could get shots of the first look. Obviously, this was important to my wife. Her dad saw himself tagged in the photo, so instead he saw his daughter on Facebook. My wife didn't find out until after the ceremony because of the last-minute preparation. After the ceremony, I kicked my mom out of the wedding and she wasn't invited to the reception. My younger sister and my dad also left, along with a few family members. My brother and I covered for the mother of the groom dance by leading an impromptu chicken dance to lighten the mood. The DJ was super awesome and filled in the spaces with fun songs, so at least the reception wasn't a total bummer. I really don't even want my mom in my life now because what she did was petty and selfish. She pulled the, well, maybe my father-in-law shouldn't have had his phone on him and my wife shouldn't have been such a stuck-up diva about her dress. I have no interest in continuing a relationship with my mom at this point. My dad thinks I should put this behind me because it's typical women drama, but I told him it wasn't, and my mom's just petty and what she does is not normal at all. Yeah, I definitely think this is one of the downsides of modern social media. Modern social media is one of the best and worst things to happen to people. I think OP's not the jerk. I am huge on reactions and looking so dearly forward to seeing that reaction and having it ruined 30 minutes before it could happen. I don't think I'd be able to forgive somebody for stealing that from me like that. Our next story is from an anonymous poster. Am I the jerk for not making my daughter do chores she hates doing? I'm 36-year-old female and my daughter is 16. Her dad and I split over a decade ago and share custody. Since the pandemic, she's been with him, and now he's living out of the country, so she's with me full-time. Since COVID, my finance took a blow. My ex couldn't help out much, and my brother and wife have space and needed help with the kids, so I moved there. Sister-in-law's brother died of COVID, leaving his kids, 4 and 6, with her and her husband, who already had 3 kids of their own, 17, 13, and 15. My brother's a doctor, and his wife needed a lot of help. I helped out as much as I could while staying there. She and I butted heads a few times since our parenting styles are different. I think the kids should spend more time being kids and not washing a million dishes after dinner. She had a system, a chore chart. Every other week it changes. Everyone's a part of the chart and her kids don't mind as much, but I do. Since my ex left, my daughter's with me. She hates the chart and feels like it's crazy for her to clean up after everyone like the dishes or vacuuming. One night, my daughter didn't do the dishes, and my sister-in-law caught her before bed and asked why. My daughter told her she didn't want to do them. Sister-in-law said she has to do them as she's part of the mess, and sister-in-law can't make breakfast in a dirty kitchen. An argument started, and I got home to it. I spoke to my sister-in-law, saying it's truly unfair because she's only one person and isn't making a big mess, and my daughter said that she isn't a part of this family unit. Sister-in-law said okay and did the dishes herself. From that moment, my daughter isn't invited to do any fun activity with the family. Sister-in-law normally baked goodies for her church with the kids' help. She loved helping, especially the older ones. My daughter loves it as well, but they started without her, and when she got there, she never got her normal duties. Sister-in-law took the kids out most Saturdays to have fun. My daughter wasn't invited. The older kids are being cold with my daughter because of how she shouted at their mom. I think it's ridiculous to shut my daughter out from all of this. I told my brother, who says those activities are family activities, and since my daughter isn't a part of the family unit and pulling her weight during the hard parts, she can't enjoy doing the good parts either, especially since I'm not bringing in any money, just because she doesn't want to do the dishes. I told sister-in-law to not turn her kids against mine, and her oldest daughter got defensive, saying they aren't stupid and heard the argument for themselves to pick sides. It's all just stupid. My daughter doesn't want to do chores, and I'm not going to force her. Sister-in-law is the one with 5 kids, because the 2 youngest could stay with her parents. My ex says sister-in-law shouldn't include our daughter since she doesn't want to help. I'm told I'm the jerk for enabling, but I don't think so. Am I? So, bottom line, I think OP is the jerk. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that OP has a very different interpretation of how things should just work in general in a household. But like if you're living there and you want to participate and you want to be a part of that whole family unit, which the daughter said she wasn't, then helping out is a normal part of it. Maybe OP didn't do enough describing of what else is going on in their daughter's life to justify not wanting to spend all that time doing chores? Because if they're living in a place and they don't do chores because they just don't want to, well, that's not very fair to anybody else. Our next story is from Fang for Life. Am I the jerk for calling my brother a lazy leech on my parents? My 23-year-old male brother lives at home with my parents. He'll only cook for himself, and other than maybe going to the gym, he'll spend his free time generally just wasting himself on video games, browsing through his phone, watching movies, etc. He has no job and no career ambitions, and spends upwards of $20,000 to $30,000 on trips, online shopping, and clothing a year. The only reason my parents allow this is because he got lucky. In high school and college, my brother was such an overachiever and the star of the family. He was so passionate and bright and had all these career objectives and ambitions. However, in college, he'd spend a lot of time on little side projects on top of his classes and internships and everything. And 2 of them happened to blow up and turn into small businesses that almost completely are passive and require like 5 hours per week to maintain. Because of the money he was making from this and the reliability of how stable it is, he grinded getting his college degree and then just gave up and stayed at home. He was discussing this online with one of his close friends when I happened to overhear when I was visiting my parents. He basically makes around $400,000 per year pre-tax, and after taxes and all that, and spending his $20,000 to $30,000, saves up around $260,000 in his bank account. His grand plan is to save up for around 10 years and then officially retire and do absolutely nothing for the rest of his life except maybe travel. That night, I confronted him and told him that it was horrible to see him waste himself away like this. I understand that technically he can support himself, but money isn't everything, and he's literally burning his life away. He's basically set himself up to do nothing but work out, travel, rock climbing, and stuff with no real work. And it's sad to see coming from his brother. He's also leeching off my parents by showing them that it's okay to live a life like this. After I told him all this, he literally started laughing at me and said that he's not hurting anyone and just wants to live his life like this with no stress. The next day, my parents basically told me to not feed him bad ideas. Either they overheard or he told them or something. Honestly though, I don't think I'm in the wrong in all of this. I just want my old brother back, not this literal couch potato that has no ambitions except for do nothing for the rest of my life. So, am I the jerk? I think OP is the jerk. Frankly, if the parents are okay with it, then they're okay with it. And they're making enough money to support themselves, so I fail to see how they're really leeching. In fact, some people would say what the brother's doing here is actually incredibly savvy and smart, And a lot of people would love to just have that life where they could sit around, take trips, and be lazy and just make passive income. That would be great. Our next story is from WHTBDSHTS. Am I the jerk for going off on my wife for buying a new mattress for both of us, even though she exclusively used her own money? My wife and I, 28-year-old male and 26-year-old female, have been married for over 2 years now. We both have promising careers, but neither of us are making a ton of money yet. We've been largely living paycheck to paycheck since we got together. We've been sleeping on a way too old mattress and box spring since we got married that she inherited from some family member, and we both have been complaining about it. My side in particular has had a bad spring which is constantly digging into my side or lower back. We've both been researching mattresses and have agreed that we need to buy something new and better as soon as we're able. So anyway, a couple of weeks ago, I went back home to attend my cousin's wedding. My wife wasn't able to go because she couldn't get off work. When I got home, my wife told me to go look in the bedroom. When I went in, I saw a new mattress on top of a new adjustable frame. It was wrapped in a red ribbon. My wife followed me in and said, "Ta-da!" When I asked her what was going on, she told me that she had been slowly socking away money from her paychecks to buy a new bed, and that she had gone ahead and bought a nice new hybrid mattress with an adjustable frame, so we could watch TV in bed together. She seemed really excited about it. I, however, wasn't happy. I told her that a mattress was a major purpose, and that we should have decided it together to make sure it was something that we both liked. She said that she was really disappointed in my response, and that she wanted to surprise me by saving up her own money and buying something nice that we needed, and that she thought I'd be happy. She said that surely the new bed was better than the old and that I should just be grateful to be sleeping on something better since I didn't have to put any money in. But I think it was a major purchase and she should have talked to me first, even if she did use her own money. I get where OP's coming from, but considering it's something they did not spend a single dime on, they should consider it a gift, they should be grateful for it, and before pouting and talking bad about it and how they should have done this or that together, at least give it a try first. You both said you were researching, I'm sure she must have known what you would have liked, right? Give it a try. If it didn't work out, then you could talk about returning it maybe, but show a little enthusiasm. It was a big, meaningful, thoughtful gesture. And our final story of the day is by Pixie Soldier 9077. Am I the jerk for being openly rude and hostile at my brother's wedding after he excluded my husband? My brother and my family have always had some unknown issue with my husband. They don't like him so much, but they're willing to provide when needed. We lost our apartment because of debts, and my family offered to take us in. My husband was excluded from going out with the family under the excuse of, "Your husband's working so he could save money for an apartment. We don't want to distract him." My brother's wedding was some days ago. I was told to let my husband stay home because again, he needs to keep working so we can get our own place. Even though my husband said he had free time, I didn't want to leave him behind. I told Mom that I didn't want to go unless my husband came along. We either go together or we stay together. Mom was having none of it. She said this was my brother's wedding. If I miss it, the entire family will be upset with me. I caved in after a lot of pressure. Here's what I did. Since I didn't want to be there but had to go, I just isolated myself and refused to engage in any activity, nor take pictures, nor take part in toast. Instead, I became somewhat hostile towards my family and had a frown on my face. Basically was so out of the mood, it affected others. My brother tried to take pictures with me, but I declined. They invited me to join the dance floor, but I refused. Mom came to me and said I was behaving terribly, like a child that didn't want to come. I told her this is me at the wedding they insisted I attend without my husband. She started berating me, calling me pathetic to bring bad vibes and ruin the atmosphere of my brother's wedding and make the guests uncomfortable, all because I'm butthurt my husband couldn't come. Dad started asking me questions about whether my husband's giving me grief about it and if I was afraid of his fury. I ignored them and remained silent and kept a frown on my face. After the wedding ended, Mom said it was shameful and disgraceful that I behaved this way as my brother's only sibling. She said I ruined the wedding in a way and will have to apologize for acting juvenile. I went inside the room and shut the door. My husband said he understood my frustration but insisted that I should have just enjoyed myself and tried not to get my family upset with us. Am I the jerk? I think both sides are being a bit of a jerk here. First of all, I think the family's being very rude for trying to exclude the husband. but showing up and intentionally trying to kind of tank the experience from your end at their wedding just probably isn't very necessary, like it's their one wedding. What do you guys think? Is OP the jerk here? Let me know. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So of all these stories I've read today, which is your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Whatever you do, whether it's liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, all of it helps grow this channel and I appreciate the heck out of it. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow with some more stories.